Okay, I hope na may audio na po dun sa ano, sa YouTube. No sound. What the heck? Alright, may sound na po ba sa YouTube? Okay na. Sabi nila may audio na lang. Alright, alright. So, pumunta po si Mr. Del Rosario sa Hong Kong where he was questioned by immigration authorities. Tinanong po siya ganong katagal po siya dito dun sa Hong Kong, ano po yung purpose niya at hanggang kailan po siya doon, etc. So, these are standard immigration questions. Pero hinold muna siya or according to Mr. Del Rosario, dinitain daw po siya. At yung detention po na ito ay yung kanyang inaalmahan at sinasabing violation of the Vienna Convention on the Law on Treaties. The Vienna Convention, there's a Vienna Convention. The Vienna Convention on Diplomatic Relations, which was created in 1961, at ang purpose po nito ay to allow yung mga ahente ng mga sovereign states to conduct the official business pursuant to the relations with the host country and the principal country. Okay. So yung mga ang tawag sa kanila, yung mga may diplomatic status na ito ay diplomatic agents, meaning kumakatawan sila doon sa principal country. Doon sa bansa na nire-represent nila, sila po ay ahente. So yung mga actions ng mga taong to ay actions of the state that they're supposed to represent. Dito, in the case of Mr. Del his claim is that he is representing the Philippine state given his diplomatic status dahil daw po may hawak siya na diplomatic passport. So, yun yung inaalma niya. Now, bakit hindi ganun kasimple na ay hindi ka naman na representante ng Pilipinas, therefore it's okay for you to be held. That's not true. Kasi yung mere presentation ng diplomatic passport supposedly identified him as a diplomatic agent. But, and this is where it becomes problematic. Kasi sinabi niya kay dun sa mga immigration authorities that he was there to conduct business dahil meron po siyang board meeting. Ngayon, kung sa site niya yung Vienna Convention on Diplomatic Relations, Article 42 says very specifically diplomatic agents are not allowed to conduct business for personal profit or any commercial activities for personal profit. Ibig sabihin, that very same treaty na kiniklaim niya ay bawal po siya doon. Okay? So, sa YouTube nawala na naman ba ng sound? O okay na daw sabi nung iba. Okay, it's so irritating to have to keep adjusting audio. Okay. So, na ngayon? So, ibig sabihin kasi, ang sinasabi ni Del Rosario, the mere fact na meron akong diplomatic passport means that you should not have detained me. Hindi po totoo yun. Dahil maaari naman kahit diplomatic status ka, ang mga immigration agents to ask questions. Kasi maaari din, particularly given itong si Mr. Del Rosario's history with China at yung kanyang pag-file ng kaso, nararapat lang na yung host country, yung receipt na tawag ng Vienna Convention na receiving country ay maaari naman pong magtanong kung ano yung pakay niya doon. That he's carrying then he could have simply asserted, I am an agent or a diplomatic agent of the Philippine government. You have to let me through or you have to allow me to enter. Pero it does not look like that is what he said. Ang sinabi po, maliwanag na maliwanag, ay nandun siya for the purpose of having a board meeting. Okay? And yung board meeting na yon, pursuant to the conduct of business. Ngayon, totoo na he is no longer a diplomatic agent. At parang may misrepresentation on his part. Posibleng valid pa rin po yung passport niya dahil carry over po ito nung siya ay department secretary pa. However, doon nga sa ating Philippine Passport Act of 1996 as amended by the same Passport Act of 2017, meron lang ilan ang maaaring humawak ng diplomatic passport. So, by virtue of being department secretary, noong department secretary pa siya, na-issuean po siya ng passport at itong passport daw po na ito ay supposedly valid pa. Pero valid pa ba ang kanyang agency? Yun yung tanong. Pag sinabi nating agency, yung pagiging representante niya ng gobyerno ng Pilipinas. So, pwede pa rin ba yon? Obviously, hindi na po dahil hindi na siya DFA Secretary. Siya ba po ay ambassador? Hindi naman po. Siya ba po ay head of mission? Hindi rin po. Hindi rin siya consular officer at hindi din po siya kamag-anak or dependent ng isang head of mission, ambassador, or ibang diplomatic agent. Kasi yung mga dependents po ng ating diplomatic agents ay meron din po silang sarili nilang passport at meron din po silang diplomatic passports. So, sino lang ang pwedeng may diplomatic passport? The President, the Vice President, the Senate President, Speaker of the House, Chief Justice, Cabinet Secretaries, Ambassadors, Members of Congress, etc. Pero, yung first 5 lang po, first 6. So, President, Vice President, Senate President, Chief Justice, Cabinet Secretaries and Undersecretaries and Assistant Secretaries of the DFA, okay, ambassadors of all ranks, foreign service officers of all ranks in the career diplomatic service, attaches and members of their families. Okay, so yung 6 na po na yon, considered diplomatic agents automatically. Ngayon, merong iba na ini-issuean po ng diplomatic passport at ang mga ito ay kailangan on official mission. So, ang mga kailangan, ini-issuean ng diplomatic passport pero on official mission ay ang members of Congress, the governor of central bank, and delegates to international or regional conferences when on official mission or accorded full powers by the government. By the President, spouses and unmarried minor children of the above-mentioned officials when followed to join them on official missions abroad. Okay? Maaari naman pong magbigay ng special na diplomatic passport para sa hindi dun sa nagre-reconnect na po sa YouTube. So, dito sa kaso ni Mr. Del Rosario, obviously, this also seems to be a case of the possible misuse of his diplomatic passport. Dahil hindi naman po siya on official mission, siya na po nagsabi na he is conducting business or naandun siya for the purpose of a board meeting of First Pacific. So, hindi po ito one of those reasons na mai-issuean siya ng special na diplomatic passport. Kasi hindi po siya nag-act as an agent or as a diplomatic agent ng Pilipinas. Okay, para dun po sa mga nanonood sa YouTube, you can watch. We're also doing this simultaneously live on Facebook. And para dun sa mga nanonood on Facebook, please don't forget to like and share. Okay? So, the third point that we need to raise is itong si Ambassador Secretary Del Rosario po ay maliwanag. Sinabi kasi ni Secretary Maynard Guevara, maliwanag na Mr. Del Rosario should have been put on guard. Alam na niya, he should have learned the lesson, dun sa si Yoshi yung dog, he should have learned the lesson from the aborted trip of Madam former Ombudsman Conchita Carpio Morales. Kasi alam naman ni Mr. Del Rosario na posibleng maitigil siya. So, ang pinapahiwatig dito ni Secretary Maynard Guevara ay alam nyo na yung posibleng mangyari dahil nakita nyo na po yung nangyari kay Mrs. Carpio Morales. However, tumuloy ka pa rin. So, this should not have come as a surprise to you. Dapat handa ka at alam mo ang mangyayari sa'yo at malaki ang possibility na mapapauwi ka or mahaharang ka. So, yung pag-aangas niya or pag-aangal niya at siya yung kanyang halos nagla-live, kulang na lang live tweet no? Nire-report niya yung blow by blow na nangyayari sa kanya, maliwanag na iba yung pakay niya dito. It is possible na meron talaga siyang board meeting doon sa Hong Kong, pero given the history ni Mrs. Carpio Morales at Given the fact na hindi na po siya diplomatic agent ng Republika ng Pilipinas, alam na alam niya na malaki ang possibility na mangyari ito. Dun sa mga nagtatanong, that's not Harry, that was Yoshi. Si Harry po ay nakahiga sa sahig. So, okay, let me check on your questions. Sabi ni Cathy 711 sa YouTube, kasi di po ba ang diplomatic passport, you can only use it, syempre, wala. When you are still in government service. Well, yun na nga, pwedeng you're in government service or dependent ka ng isang diplomatic agent who is on official mission, or you have to be on official mission. Hindi necessarily na kasi meron mga, it's possible na you're charged by the president as a private person to conduct an official mission, then maaari po siyang bigyan ng special na diplomatic passport. Meron kasi mga diplomatic passport na single use only for one particular mission. Pero wala rin po siyang ganon. Hindi po yan yun. Sabi ni Noy Ramirez, it's not a board meeting but a stockholders meeting ng First Pacific. Alright, but does that change the character of his exclusion? I don't think so, because it is clearly not a diplomatic mission. He is clearly not a diplomatic agent, and he is clearly conducting business for a personal profit. Diba? Tinatanong ni Ma'am Monique Francois, can he not be stripped of his diplomatic passport? Yes, the diplomatic passport can be recalled at any time and for no reason. Sabi Ma'am Sarah Mercado, sa i-blame niya pa na hindi siya naka-attend ng meeting dahil na-hold siya. Well, there's that also. Nagre-reklamo yung mga nasa YouTube na erratic po yung signal sa YouTube today, which is weird because normally maganda yung signal sa YouTube. Para dun sa nanonood sa YouTube, tuloy-tuloy naman po ang signal natin sa Facebook, so you can just proceed to Facebook and check out the live on that one. So, ano yung sinasabi? Basically, ang sinasabi rin ni Secretary Maynard Guevara is, kasalanan mo yan. Alam mo ang posibleng mangyayari, pero ginawa mo pa rin. And actually, Secretary Maynard was being nice kasi hindi natin maiiwasan isipin na may possibility din na sinasadya na ito. Diba? Sinasadya na to, what? To agitate or to cause some agitation para hindi tuloy-tuloy yung magandang pakikitungo ng Pilipinas at ng China, o kaya para madagdagan ng mga kontrobersiya between the Philippines and China and so on. Sabi ni Ma'am Jane Maria Torres, denied and wheelchaired, so much drama. O nga Sabi ni Raul Maranan Libot, mahilig kasi sila sa pagiging diplomat na kahit wala ng business sa government, they're still using their diplomatic passports. Agree din naman na po ako dyan. Sabi ni Ma'am Aida Castillo, si Sir Alda, Ma'am Aida pala, Castillo Marbella, video conference na lang siya para hindi siya makaharang. Pwede, diba? Sabi ni Teresa Dulnuan, wala pong sound. Okay na po. Ayan, meron na pong sound. Sabi ni Ave Cruz, sinasayang nila ang pagkatao nila para sa kabobohang idea ng mga oposisyon. Yeah. Tinanong ni Ma'am Maureen Rose Mejia Villar, can Lolo Bert be stripped of his diplomatic passport? Opo, pwede naman pong i-recall. Ipa-cancel because a diplomatic passport is issued only to certain people, at kung hindi po hindi na po sila on official mission or hindi na po sila opisyales ng gobyerno, then maaari pong i-recall o ipawalang visa yung passport na yon. Ang ordinary passport po, maaari lang po yan i-cancel under certain conditions, such as kunwari you're a fugitive from justice and all that. Sabi ni Albert Pernia, trying to take advantage and having the diplomatic passport to expound issues and do the roller coaster ride by the media to magnify it. I agree. Checking the questions din on YouTube. Hindi po nadadagdagan yun sa YouTube. Sabi ni Vanessa Morano, she's watching from Hong Kong. Ah, Sabi ni Dalyang Pulokan, if ever okay yung law ng China sa HK na extradition, may nilabag ba silang batas ng China? Extradition. Hindi po po. Hindi po natin alam. Sabi ni Maria Lepiten Fulterer, holding diplomatic passports very convenient, plus free visa all over the world. Well, yung iba kasi nga, ang diplomatic passports can be issued for one specific mission. Or yung mga for instance, merong mga issuean ng diplomatic passport kapag po sila ay attend ng conferences. Let me just go back to that provision. Delegates to international conference. Yun. Pag member of Congress, governor ng central bank, spouses, etc., but the President of the Philippines and the Secretary of Department of Foreign Affairs may grant diplomatic passports to officials and persons, so kahit private persons, other than those enumerated herein who are on official mission abroad. So ulitin po yun, it isn't that he is no longer in government, na hindi na po valid yung kanyang passport, but that he is not charged with an official mission, and he is no longer one of those officials who are automatically issued a diplomatic passport. So, sabi ni Isagani Zulueta, he is not a diplomat because he's not a secretary anymore and not working in government anymore. Like I said, pwede po ang private persons maghawak ng diplomatic passport kung meron silang official mission, and they are usually, sometimes they can be charged by the president to go on official mission even if they are not in government. So sabi ni Aprilin Ferrer, file daw po ng protest sa China due to the violation of the Vienna Convention as per Del Rosario. Yung sinasabi ko nga earlier on. So, ang sinasabi ni Mr. Del Rosario ay, the mere fact that he presented the diplomatic passport should have entitled him na dire-diretso lang siya sa immigrations. Sabi niya, hindi daw po siya maaaring i-detain. Pero, yung pagpapaintay po sa kanya ay maaaring hindi kinoconsider ng immigration authorities na ito ay detention because they had to verify his status as a diplomatic agent, given na yun na nga nagpipresenta siya ng diplomatic passport. Now, here's the bigger complication. Si Mr. Del Rosario ay nagkiklaim na siya ay isang diplomatic agent, pero nag-file po siya ng isang kaso laban sa China. Ang isang diplomatic agent ay tinatawag na ahente kasi sila ay representante ng isang gobyerno. So, parang meron talagang problema ito because if maikli ang temper ng China, maaari nilang tanungin ang Philippine government, wait, ito bang si Del Rosario ay ahente ninyo at inauthorize ninyo na mag-file ng kaso kasi naghahawak siya ng isang diplomatic passport. So the good thing about that is the Chinese immigration authorities did not take his diplomatic passport at face value. Sabi ni Elmer Alense, okay lang na may opposition sa gobyerno, pero sana maging constructive na makatulong sa bansa natin ng mga ideya nila. But like the freedom of speech, maaari lang po natin, well, of course, we can criticize them for how do you call this, yung inadequate opposition, pero we can't tell them what to do. Sabi ni John the Cross, bakit nakalusot sa NAIA kung walang valid passport si Thunders? Because presumably, on its face, it looks valid. Yun nga po yung pinaglalaban ni Mr. Del Rosario, that the Hong Kong immigration authorities should have taken it at face value, which is what the NAIA authorities did also. The Philippine Immigration Service took his diplomatic passport as on its face being valid because it had not been recalled, and it was still valid kumbaga dun sa period. Okay. Sabi ni Lottie Escala, ang kapatid ko nga, barangay captain lang nung pumasok dito sa Hong Kong. Tagal din bago nakalabas. Sabi sa akin, dami daw tanong kasi nag-work daw siya sa government. O, yun. Sabi ni Josephine Arellano, nakakataba ng puso at lalo kung nililiwanagan sa mga issue sa pagpapaliwanag ninyo. Kaya kapag may time, hindi ko nakakaligtaan makinig. Watching from Hong Kong. Okay. It seems maraming gustong pumunta ng Hong Kong, including itong si Madam Conchita Carpio Morales at saka si Mr. Del Rosario. So, Sabi ni Albert Pernia, the purpose is intentional to use the issued diplomatic passport for easy access. Okay. Yes, totoo yun. Merong element dito ng pananamantala. Kasi alam naman niya that he's no longer entitled to this passport, pero ginamit pa rin niya. Sabi ni Dondoy 2000, is there a possibility that the CIA is behind Del Rosario since he is an amboy? Well, it's yan, marami kasing nag-aral sa US that carry the mindset that they learned abroad or ganun mag-isip or inculcated yung mga values, but that doesn't necessarily mean na uh, may conspiracy theory with the CIA. But we're free to think that. Right now, wala pa po ako nakikita na evidence pursuant to that. Although, of course, medyo nakakaduda talaga yung kanyang pakay. But I prefer TP's theory that it's really all about money and the possibility of exploiting the resources in the West Philippine Sea. Sabi ni Manolito Mercado, may pananagutan ba yung immigration authorities na pumayag lumabas si Tante? Kayo naman, si Mr. Del Rosario using a diplomatic passport. Hindi po. I don't think that they would have a liability kasi at face value, which was the only thing that they had for them, pag in-examine mo yung passport niya, it was on its face valid. At even if alam nila na hindi na siya DFA secretary kasi it is also possible that he was charged with a particular mission and allowed to just use this passport that he had been issued nung nasa DFA pa siya. Sabi ni Suzette Bentulan, anong nasa Hong Kong, large amounts of deposits to be withdrawn? Well, it's also possible na nananadya si Mr. Del Rosario given na nagkaso nga sila ni Ma'am Conchita. Sabi ni Red, Alvin Skazer, yung office kasi ng First Pacific nasa Hong Kong wherein si Del Rosario ata one of the board members. Okay. So yun na nga. If he is one of the board members, then the conduct of a board meeting is the conduct of a stockholders meeting is the conduct of business at hindi po inaalaw yan under the Vienna Convention's Article 42. Also, dun sa Article 41 ng Vienna Convention, nakalagay po doon maliwanag that the diplomatic agents must also respect the laws of the host country, of the receiving state. At yung pag-aalma ni Mr. Del Rosario clearly shows na kini-question niya at hindi pa naman niya dinidisrespect, no? Pero kini-question na niya yung conduct ng immigration officials doon sa Hong Kong. And kumbaga, ikaw po yung nakikituloy nakikipasok ka lang. So medyo, you're really there, you're a guest in the country. You're there kumbaga inaalaw ka lang nila and it is only this permission, it is only this gratuitous action that keeps you safe. Sabi ni Diocaria Pavia, yung simple pinalalaki nila, baka nakakalimutan na nila sa luneta, ilang Hong Kong nationals ang namatay, pulis na palpak ang may gawa. Okay, yes. Kasi we explained earlier what would lead us to believe that the state is involved, na state action ito. Halimbawa, hindi natin pwedeng sabihin on its face na yung actions, let's say, ng mga Chinese fishermen, fishing boat against the Filipino fishing boat is an act of the Chinese state. Kasi it's not a military vessel at hindi po state officials or hindi state agents yung mga Chinese fishermen. Sabi ni Liza Noel, hindi naman po detained yun kasi syempre po kakausapin siya ng Office ng Immigration, magagalang po ang immigration officers dito sa Hong Kong. Opo, I've been to Hong Kong several times at wala din po ako mairereklamo sa mga immigration officials ng Hong Kong kasi yes, you're right, they're very respectful. Pero ang sinasabi po kasi ni Mr. Del Rosario is under the Vienna Convention, hindi po siya allowed to be detained at ang tingin niya ay labas po dun sa normal course of processing. Yung kanyang paghihiwalay, pag nilagay siya sa ibang kwarto at nagrereklamo siya maliit na kwarto, is a form of detention, even if it was only for 3 hours, according to him. And, and what we're saying is that his argument is invalid. Kasi nga, you're right, one, maybe we cannot characterize it as a detention, but even if we did, then Mr. De Rosario's purpose in being Hong Kong is highly questionable under the same Vienna Convention that he's citing. So, sabi ni Ma'am Fe, Evangelista, drama lang ni Del Rosario yan, gustong gumawa ng eksena. And yun din po yung sinasabi ni Secretary Maynard Guevara. Sabi ni Dondoy, having said that, uh, yung tingin ni TP na money, so might Salim be behind it? Panahon pa ni Pinoy, may issue na kay Salim using Pinoy's government, etc. Well, ang sa akin, I don't like to make conjectures nang hindi po base sa ebidensya. So right now, what we know of Mr. Del Rosario nga is that he has business interests that he's trying to protect doon sa West Philippine Sea. And he wants to get government involved in protecting those interests. Na para sa atin, medyo masyado naman makasarili na ilalagay mo sa panganib ang Philippine-Chinese relations na so far nagiging beneficial para sa atin. Diba? So, given na beneficial pa so far ang ating relationship with China, bakit natin gustong guluhin? And for his own personal gain. Sabi ni Ma'am Joan, can Del Rosario be charged for misrepresentation for using a diplomatic passport when he knows he doesn't represent government anymore? Well, what is misrepresentation? It's not a criminal act. Diba? And the best that we can do, or the best that the DFA can do, is to cancel his passport or actually revoke the diplomatic passport. Kasi hindi na nga siya secretary. Sabi ni April Ferrer, sumabay pa talaga sa issue si Del Rosario, ay pwede naman ang conference calls din sa meeting. Well, according to one of the viewers here, it's a stockholders meeting, which makes it even less complicated kasi he could have asked somebody to proxy for him, diba? But if he's a board member and there is also a consequent board meeting pursuant to that stockholders meeting, then, like I said, it's the conduct of business. So, ano ba? Maikli lang tong kasi nga it's fairly simple. Yung Sabi ni Maria Teresa Malasarte Smith, ang dami na daw audience, salamat sa serbisyo para ma-enlighten ang Filipino people. Sabi ni Sampaguita Mabango, bottom line yan. He should respect the immigration protocol at huwag siyang pa-VIP kung mali siya. Agree. And sinasabi natin is mali siya on several grounds. One is that he's violating the same Vienna Convention, and two, he was misrepresenting himself as a diplomatic agent when he is no longer a diplomatic agent. Sabi ni isang person who doesn't want his name mentioned, that's a clear abuse of the privilege being given to former DFA officials, especially former DFA Secretary Mr. Del Rosario has no official mission to that country. Automatic kasi yan sa DFA na binibigyan ng diplomatic passport yung mga tinutukoy na dating officials ng DFA. Matagal na kaming nabubwisit sa sistemang yang dito, masyadong binibigay ng pribilehyo yung mga yan. Parang akala nila lifetime yan. Mr. Del Rosario's diplomatic passport is valid, kaya nga lang inabuso ng paggamit. It's time for PRRD to review this kind of nonsense practice sa DFA. Yun nga kahit si Secretary Panelos, si Spox Panelos, sinasabi niya, tinatanong niya, Mr. Del Rosario, we're on official mission. Pero yes, alam ko po yan that diplomatic passport is as a matter of parang courtesy given to former DFA officials. Pero yun na nga, it is subject to also the receiving state, 'di ba? Doon sa mismo sa Vienna Convention din, maaari rin silang mag-declare ng isang diplomatic agent na persona non grata. In Mr. Del Rosario's case, they could have done that because he filed the suit against the Chinese premier. Pero kumbaga, this was a good, more subtle way of handling it. But thank you po dun sa taga-DFA na nagsasabi ng na this is actually something like a courtesy kind of passport that is given to former officials na medyo in Mr. Del Rosario's case seems to have been abused. Sabi ni Michael Remulla dito sa YouTube, baka makalusot lang daw. Style. So, sabi ni Ma'am Mia Poch, hindi na natuto de Rosario sa Natales, pero ang tingin ko, ma'am, it's not na hindi siya natuto, but I think that nananadya na siya dito. Sabi ni Feg Evangelista, pauwi daw siya dito sa Japan once ma-airport to airport ka, malabo na makapasok. Gayon din kaya sa Hong Kong. If yes, paano na yung business niya doon? Well, yun na nga. Anytime you visit another state or another country, you're subject to the rules of that country. So, wala ka rin magagawa if they don't like you. In fact, this case, kumbaga, maiintindihan natin when it comes to the immigration authorities dyan sa Hong Kong, kung bakit pwede siyang talagang i-exclude. Sabi ni Dio Carissa Pavia, talo pa sila ng mga katulong sa Hong Kong labas-masok. Tama lang na wag sila papasukin kasi anay sila. Sabi ni Sheila Eranes, had. If Del Rosario is no longer government official, why is he still holding a diplomatic passport? Dapat po kumpus kayo sa kanya. Well, ang sinasabi nga po ng DFA is a matter of courtesy. They give diplomatic passports dun sa mga former officials nila, even if they're no longer with government and no longer on official mission. Parang ano lang to, privilege po. And as in the case of any privilege, then it is subject to confiscation or cancellation at any time, even for no reason. Sabi ni Amor, ayos yan, blacklisted, yak siya sa Hong Kong. Sabi ni Maria Lepita and Fulterer, in respect and follow the rules in every country you enter. Sabi ni Agot Tunas, kahit may visa ka na, pwede ka pa rin ba i-deny ng receiving country? Yes, pwede po yun. Sabi ni EJ Fernandez Lubid, Del Rosario seems to be assaulting the right of the country to verify his visit as one that's official. Ang haba, sandali. Oafs like him argue his plight for varying reasons to evade fingers of blame, to impress one's audience with one's mental fiber. Ang tindi nitong comment na to. To vent anger just because one lacks the necessary suffering to earn the sympathy of an audience. What sense of entitlement yata to demand a country to give them a privilege by virtue of a diplomatic pass, to not verify the nature of his visit and to endure his intolerable existence after putting the country he's visiting in a bad light? Del Rosario seems to see corruption everywhere except within. It hurts too much for the guy to do even just a bit of soul searching. Salamat po. What an interesting and excellently worded comment. Sabi ni Yumi Estabilio, how could the former secretary expect China to accord him courtesy when in fact he filed against their president? Di ba kahit tayo, di ba, ayaw natin papasukin itong mga the journalists or even investigators who have spoken against our president, and the president being very popular, then they should really expect that the people of the Philippines will not take kindly their presence in this country. Sabi ni Joyce Bungay, may immunity po ba si Del Rosario kahit di na siya part ng DFA? Well, you have to be a diplomatic agent in order to be entitled to a diplomatic immunity. In his case kasi, because he was holding a diplomatic passport, on its face, Mr. Del Rosario is demanding that the Chinese authorities consider him a diplomatic agent, even if he no longer is, and even if China decide to subject him to verification. Sabi ni Jim De Los Santos, kahit ako naman minura ako ng bahay ko, di ko pa papasukin na yan sa bahay ko. Kahit may gamit pa siya sa loob ng bahay ko. Sabi ni Ines Francisco, ibig sabihin, alam niya na hindi siya papapasukin sa Hong Kong dahil personal ang pakay niya, kaya sino niya, sa sarili niya, ginawa niya. Palagay niya ba, i-welcome pa siya doon? Hindi man lang niya inisip mga against na sinabi niya sa China, tapos office niya nandun pa. Dami pong nanonood sa atin from Hong Kong. Sabi ni Heaven Ventura, meron na pong nag-viral niya na hold di sa Hong Kong, then pinababalik ng walang rason, tapos nagpunta kay Rafi Tulfo, sabi sa DFA, marami na daw na nangyayaring ganon. Sabi ni Adrian Garay, meron po bang pwedeng ikaso kay Mr. Del Rosario for instigating? Halata naman na sinasadya na nila, and yet nagtatanga-tangahan na lang at the expense of very good relations of the Philippines and China. Well, right now, I don't see any case other than the misrepresentation, which could lead to the revocation of his passport, diplomatic passport. He's still entitled to the ordinary official passport. Ganyan ang feeling, sabi ni Dark Angels Vig, ng mga na-offload na Pinoy sa NAIA. Sabi ni Bob Sell, how can he not know? He was former DFA secretary. He should know it. Ano nga eh. So, sabi ni Tin Jake Reyes, nagpapapansin yan, Nepal kasi. Well, oh. Sabi ni, Lourdes Fulion, wow, it's been a while since naka-jackpot ako na I think last year pa. O, di ba? That's why we have live iba-ibang oras during the day para marami pong maka-catch. Sabi ni Rocky, kapal naman ang mukha niya kahit wala na siya sa office, ginagamit pa rin ang kanyang diplomatic passport. Well, like I said, yun nga, sabi dun nga ng isang DFA insider is that they give this as a matter of courtesy para dun sa mga retired and former officials ng DFA. Sabi ni Divina ito, question po, paano po si Trillanes pag natapos na siya sa Senado at ginawa niya si Del Rosario at ginaya niya si Del Rosario na gumamit ng diplomatic passport. Well, in the case of senators kasi, they're given, and if you're not the Senate president, ang diplomatic passport mo ay valid lang if you have an official mission abroad. So without an official mission, I don't think Mr. Trillanes is going to bother using that. He does have a regular passport. Sabi ni Mark Emil Calle, when the dust settles in, you'll see that oligarchs' corporate interests is more than its country. Who knows, baka binayaran lang dyan para banggain ng pobreng Pinoy sa laot and use the issue as leverage against China. Sabi ni Rubes Benman, kompleto naman ang experience niya as DFA secretary. Na-hold na siya sa immigration since understand the receiving country's right to do that. Sabi ni Roy Santos, salubungin pa ni Conchita, diba? The yellow show begins. Sabi ni Ron Jinky Kenhana Villaflor, natapos na kasi yung issue sa Reed Bank, kaya kailangan na ng bagong issue. Daw, meron pong nagsasabi na gumagawa lang ng story si Del Rosario dahil malapit na ang SONA. Paano maging issue yon sa darating na SONA? Well, China relation, bring it up. So may nanonood sa atin from Turkey, si Ma'am Gemma, tsaka si Andy Tejones is watching from Germany. Sabi ni Ma'am Gigi Moore, alam na alam ni Del Rosario na mangyayari yan sa kanya, ipupunta siya sa Hong Kong, mean and makulit lang yan si Del Rosario. Okay, so wala na po yatang questions, i-recap lang po natin. Ang pagpunta, nag-file po ng case in the International Criminal Court si Mr. Del Rosario and si former Ombudsman Conchita Carpio Morales, and alleging against the Premier of China, alleging violations of what amounts to human rights of Filipinos in relation to the West Philippine Sea. Former Ombudsman Conchita Carpio Morales attempted to go to Hong Kong on holiday with her family but was briefly detained, and then and while she was allowed to enter eventually Hong Kong, she and her family opted to just come home to the Philippines. A month or so later, si Mr. Del Rosario naman supposedly to attend either a board meeting or stockholders meeting of First Pacific dito sa Hong Kong, gumamit ng kanyang diplomatic passport para makapasok ng Hong Kong and was briefly detained for about 3 hours habang bine-verify yung pakay niya. Dahil tinanungan po siya, what is your purpose in Hong Kong? How long are you going to stay? Where are you staying? And all of those other details that immigration officials normally ask. Ang inalma po ni Mr. Del Rosario ay dahil may hawak siya ng diplomatic passport, kanyang sinasite ang Vienna Convention, the 1961 Vienna Convention on Diplomatic Relations. At yung Vienna Convention po ay nag-regulate ng pagtrato ng diplomatic agents sa receiving state and vice versa. Ang mga obligations ng principal state o yung sending state. Ngayon, si Mr. Del Rosario apparently is holding his diplomatic passport by virtue of a courtesy granted to former officials of the DFA. Or he probably still has a valid diplomatic passport that had originally been issued to him. At any rate, si Mr. Del Rosario po is, aside from that courtesy that is granted to former officials of the DFA, which is, by the way, not in any law or regulation. At yung paghahawak niya, ang claim ni Mr. Rosario is by the mere fact that he presented the diplomatic passport should have entitled him to the courtesies of a diplomatic agent. However, si Mr. Del Rosario, in actuality, is no longer a diplomatic agent since he is no longer DFA Secretary. At walang in-issue po na diplomatic passport sa kanya for the purpose of conducting an official mission dahil allowed naman po ito. Even if he is a former government official, if he had been given or charged with an official mission, then he could be holding a diplomatic passport for that purpose. However, wala pong sinasabi ang ating gobyerno at nagsalita na po si Spox Panelo that they do not know of Mr. Del Rosario's presence in Hong Kong as an official visit. So, Mr. Del Rosario himself claimed that he was there to attend either a stockholders or board meeting at maliwanag din na hindi po diplomatic business or the Philippines business ang kanyang presence or pagpunta sa Hong Kong. Ayon dun sa Article 42 of the Vienna Convention on Diplomatic Relations, ang hindi po allowed mag-conduct ng business or any commercial activity for personal profit ang isang may diplomatic agent sa kanyang receiving state. Therefore, si Mr. Del Rosario no longer, well, kumbaga, even if on its face, Hong Kong should have been should have relied on his diplomatic passport. Yun po yung sinasabi ni Mr. Del Rosario. Mr. Del Rosario invoking the Vienna Convention. Under the same Vienna Convention, China could validly exclude him because he was not there for the purpose of being a diplomatic agent of the Philippines. So, and in full context, ang sinasabi po ni Secretary Maynard Guevara, who put it very well, he should have learned from the experience of former Ombudsman Conchita Carpio Morales when she went to Hong Kong. Mr. Del Rosario not only should have expected it, but knew that this was a big possibility that it was going to happen. And yet he went anyway, which can lead us only to two conclusions. One is either he was ignoring all the warnings at nagbabaka sakali siya, or nananadya na siya, and hoping to trigger a reaction between of the Chinese authorities so that he can claim some kind of oppression by the Chinese state and ask the Philippine government to protect him or to protect his rights. Ganun po yung reaction ni former Ombudsman Conchita Carpio Morales nung siya ay bumalik from Hong Kong na dapat man lang pinagtatanggol daw sila ng Pilipinas sa Hong Kong since wala naman po siyang masamang pakay doon at wala naman po siyang masamang ginagawa. Of course, wala naman po yatang naniniwala sa taong bayan doon sa kanyang pahayag or sa kanyang reklamo na dapat po pinagtatanggol yung kanyang actions o yung kanyang pagkatao, yung pinagtatanggol siya against the treatment by the Hong Kong immigration authorities of a former justice of the Philippine Supreme Court. Sabi ni Arman Gavino sa madaling salita, Del Rosario, si Mr. Del Rosario, pasok, Attorney Gadon. Agree. Sabi ni Bench Island, maliwanag na scripted ang ginawa ni Del Rosario kasi nagpasundo pa kay Morales. I think that was for the purpose of conducting some kind of an informal press conference para meron pong meron pong hanash, additional na hanash. Siyempre, it would be more press-friendly or more newsworthy kung kasama niya dun sa kanyang press conference, si Ma'am Conchita Carpio Morales, and it would be a good idea for him and her to be seen both as victims by the Chinese state. Diba? So, sabi ni Ma'am Gemma Vitero, gusto yata sila itrato as VIPs, mga walang utak talaga. Sabi ni Ma'am Rowena Wenpin, sus kakasawa na ang pa-victim card nila. So, under those circumstances, I would not be surprised kung ang palasyo po ay magsasabi na Mr. Del Rosario, we agree with Secretary Maynard Guevara, should have been put on notice dun sa trato sa kay former Ombudsman Conchita Carpio Morales, and he should have learned his lesson by then. Furthermore, maaari pong gawin ng palasyo o ng presidente ay ipa-recall yung diplomatic passport ni Mr. Del Rosario because he is no longer entitled to it under the Philippine Passport Act of 1996. Now, given that he is holding it as a matter of courtesy and simply as a matter of pure benefit or pure privilege, the same privilege can be revoked by Malacanang at any time. Sabi ni Gillan Nev, meron po bang international law provisions sa Vietnam Convention na kinikilala yung mga granting of diplomatic passports as a courtesy to former government officials? Kung wala, what's the use of giving those ex-officials the same? Like I said, it's face value. Yun ang sinasabi ni Mr. Del Rosario is that the Hong Kong authorities should have taken it at face value, which normally would have happened had he not filed a case against China in the ICC. Therefore, may tunog na yung pangalan niya. Dahil may tunog na at may alarma na yung kanyang pangalan, tinanong siya kung anong pakay niya doon sa China. Diba? Sabi ni Mon Viado, he knows the consequences. Former DFA Secretary pa naman, OMG and WTH. Sabi ni R.C. Peña, grabe ang papansin ng mga dilaw. More power. Sabi ni Ma'am Gemma, gustong-gusto ko itong dami daw niya natututunan. Maraming salamat po. So, alam na po rin natin na ang pakay ni Mr. De Rosario dito sa Hong Kong, while he was there possibly for a stockholders or board meeting, it was also to draw as much publicity out of this incident, and an incident that he was hoping to trigger anyway, and by the fact that he asked Mrs. Conchita Carpio Morales to meet him at the airport going back. Clearly, isa sa mga objectives niya dito is to, how do you call this? To shake up Philippine-Chinese relations. Pero masyado po yatang mababaw ito para mayanig pa ang gobyerno. At mukhang the palace is treating it rather lightly kasi considering sinasabi ni Spokespanelo, wait, we're on diplomatic mission. Diba? What was your business there? Diba? Sabi ni Jen Aliyah, the truth will set them free. Bakit di na lang sila mamuhay ng payapa? And she's watching from Hong Kong. So, babatiin ko po lahat ng nanonood from Hong Kong. Kumusta po kayo? And I'm very happy to see you on board during our live. Lahat din po sa ibang mga nanonood. Thank you very much para sa pagtitangkilik ng mga Facebook Live and YouTube live streaming namin on this channel sa Luminous by Trixie, Cruz-Angeles and Ahmed, Paglinawan. If you haven't liked and followed yet, please do so. And please subscribe to our Facebook Live, or you can subscribe also to our YouTube channel, which is Luminous by Trixie Cruz-Angeles. Maraming salamat. And I'll see you again, possibly tomorrow. Sabihin niyo lang po kung anong gusto ninyong topic for live tomorrow. We'll be opening a post about that so that you can give us your suggestions. Thank you very much. I hope you all have a good day.